Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation. We just ran into, well, first we had birthday cake, and then we ran into about 10 minutes of technical difficulties. So I'm so glad you're joining me. We are here. Well, there were some beautiful woods to show you behind here. There are some beautiful woods still, but instead, I think you can see kind of the silhouette of a swinging 2-year-old on the hammock behind me. I don't know if I could pan in a little bit. There we go. I don't know if you can see that at all. There's an arm swinging a baby there who's no longer a baby. She's a 2-year-old. How does it get any better than this? I really want to talk about this channeled event, or I channeled Archangel Michael this morning. Happens about once a month, and he came through loud and clear on the energy and on what's coming in the month of May. Before I do that, a few key things to bring up. And if you're new here, if this is your first time here, welcome or welcome home. First off, if I sound a little funny tonight, I had what I thought was minor dental surgery on Wednesday morning, where they ended up cutting open my jaw. You can block your ears now, from here all the way back up to my ear. So if I look a little bit funny, if I'm speaking just a little bit funny, I know. It's because, you want to say hi, birthday girl? It's because I got a whole bunch of stitches in there. What's that? What's that? Oh, I got chocolate on my shorts. Do you want to? Oh, she found the chocolate on my face. So this is the birthday girl, and she turned 2 today. Yay! How does it get any better than this? And her balloon is off to the side. It keeps freaking me out because it keeps tilting, and my mind thinks it's a tripod tipping over. And each time I see the balloon tipping, I go, oh my gosh. So, Hana Bear, is there anything you want to share with people before we go into the energy for the month of May and everything that Archangel Michael has to say?
Mommy.
Mommy, you want to say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Mommy's the greatest, isn't she? How old are you now?
2.
2. And are you happy?
Yeah, happy.
Are you excited?
Yeah, daddy.
Did you have fun today?
Of course.
Did you drive a car today? Yeah. Oh, there's lights over there. Yeah, there are. That was the car that you drove. So that's charging right now. That's the green car. We call that Kermit. That's a golf cart. And did you drive a race car today?
No. Race cars.
What about the red car?
Red cars.
3 red cars, right?
Driving.
Yeah. You drove 3 red cars today. Was it fun?
Blue car.
Yeah, I know. We didn't get a blue car for you to drive, but you really wanted to drive a blue car. And where are we staying right now? What are we driving in?
Tues.
Yeah, but what about Tintin?
Tintin there.
Yeah, Tintin is our RV, isn't it?
Yes.
And the RV is fun?
Yes, I will run.
And do we have a cat with us?
A cat's right.
And who's the cat?
Uh,
Well, he's inside right now. What's the cat's name?
Doo-doo.
Kudu? Oh,
Yeah.
that's your scooter. You do have Scooter the scooter with you. But did you bring Sir Meowsers with us?
Yeah, yes.
And are you happy to see Sir Meowsers?
Yes, walk.
Yeah, and well, we did take him for walks. Did you give him lots of hugs earlier today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kiss.
I was going to ask if you gave him a kiss, but you did give him a kiss. And are you liking the time in nature? You liking the time camping?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to show your balloon to everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the balloon you got earlier today. That's a fun balloon. Should we bring that even more into the camera?
Yeah.
There we go. We went camping at Camp Wilderness, and nothing happens as planned. So we went to rent a boat earlier today, and to rent the boat, you had to go toward the main part of Disney. And Hana Bear saw the Magic Kingdom and saw the castle. And did you want to go to Disney?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to see Mickey Mouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to play at the Magic Kingdom? Swimming. Oh, we didn't go swimming. We did about everything else today but swimming. Well, we ended up at the Magic Kingdom. Completely unplanned. How you accidentally end up at Disney is something I have no idea. Okay, are you ready to get done?
More.
More. Oh, more. Okay.
That's
What do you want to tell people?
people.
Do you want to send love?
Yeah.
Can you say, I love you?
Mommy.
I love mommy. Is that what you said?
I daddy.
And daddy. Oh, thank you.
Hana.
Yeah, and Hana. That's really good. Anything else you want to share? You which?
I can.
You camera?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you cut cake. Was the cake good?
Eat it.
Yeah, you ate the cake. That was fun.
Big.
Yeah, big cake. It was a big cake. Or it still is a big
Mom,
cake.
eat it.
Mom made a big piece?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you going to eat a big piece?
Cut.
Cards? Cut. Yes, you did cut the cake. And what did you do last night?
Down.
You cut it down. Did you watch a movie outside last night?
No.
On the giant T?
Yeah.
Yeah. You watched your first outdoor movie on the giant T, which means the giant TV. And did you see music last night or hear music?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun too.
Baby Booga.
Oh, that's your favorite song. It's Baby Beluga by Rafi. Well, this is turning into an interview.
Baby, are you?
You want to keep singing?
Yeah.
Go 1, 2, 3. Baby Beluga in the deep blue sea. Swim so high and you swim so free.
Hi.
That I know the words. Da, 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 da. A little white whale on the go. Baby Beluga. Down? Okay. She's like, enough with Daddy's butchering of her favorite song. All right. Good night, honey bear. Sing as she wants on the swing. All right. Okay. So we're going to talk about this channel co-creation with Archangel Michael. And we're going to keep it a little bit on the short side, not the least because she's got to sleep, but also because I have already just talked more in the last 10 minutes than I have talked in the last 5 days. And I don't know how long my mouth is going to hold out for. All right, so let me pull up our notes and we are going to have a beautiful time. Oh, people have been asking. I didn't mean to, but I have on my Team USA jersey tonight for USA Triathlon. I had my national championships last week. And so I'll give you just the briefest update because this is not the Michael show. This is supposed to be the Archangel Michael show here tonight. We had some foot challenges earlier this year. I've mentioned them to people. I was going to do the best I could. So this was for the national championships for off-road triathlon, full distance. And I was in first place out of some very cold water. I was the first place for my age group for the swim. I struggled with the hills early on because I've been training in Florida. I struggled with the hills early on a very hilly course on the mountain bike. Is 3 laps. My third lap, I finally managed to figure out, I guess I would warmed up because I was so cold because I've been training in Florida and it was very cold on the New York border. I finally figured out how to climb and I eked my way back into things and finished the bike with a flat in second place on the bike. How does it get any better than this? And then the run didn't go so hot. And I fell back and I finished 6th place. So I just felt I'd update you. Was supposed to go to a North American championships in 2 weeks. Probably not because we get to work to get ourselves on the road in a few weeks, which is why we're actually testing out all our equipment outdoors right now because we're going to be traveling through Canada and the Rockies later this summer or this summer in general. And so we're testing out all of our equipment. There will be more racing. I have a goal of winning the world championships, be that I was first place out of the water, second still on a bike. It's very doable. And it will come at the time when the angels say it is time and not a moment before that. So, all right, let's dive into things. And I can see people very, just a little bit in the chat because Bhavik, who runs all things on the computer here, was unable to log in. So lots and lots to love to Mary Fryer, who's recovering from surgery, and Jill for her twin sons transitioning. Lots and lots of love. All right. May is not. So how I do this, I wake up each morning, I go into automatic writing, I hear from angels and guides. I really hear from our twin daughters. You met Hana. Miraku is her sister, and she transitioned in utero a couple years ago. And she speaks to me through automatic writing, except for when Archangel Michael comes through. And so this morning I went into my automatic writing, and Miracle stepped aside. Archangel Michael came through and said, I have some very powerful words to share for the month of May, which he is calling the month of the light warrior. And I thought that was so appropriate or apropos that this is a very powerful, positive month if we choose it to be. If not, oh my gosh, is it going to get difficult for us for the rest of the year? But if we choose something positive out of it, it can be a very different outcome. Now, he did speak very briefly in the beginning about Hana Bear, about the new generation that are coming through. He calls a lot of the new gen the travelers, meaning they are people that specifically came here from around the universe to help us usher in this new time. So while Hana Bear and all of the other little ones today seem like they're new souls, they're actually the oldest of old souls here to guide us and here to help shine the light, because we are in the middle of a very powerful, cannot go back transition that, we've all heard it from our parents. We've heard it from our parents. Oh, the kids always say this and it always seems that way. And no, things are very, very different right now. There's an acceleration curve that we're on, whether you look at technology, whether you look at connectivity, whether you look at AI. It is accelerating to a pace that is unsustainable at the current paradigm. And that's what Archangel Michael wanted to talk with me about. So, right now, we are in a very unsustainable way of being. Whether we look at politics, whether we look at, whether the Fed or income or currency or world affairs, nothing, certainly ecosystems, nothing is sustainable at this point. And that's all by design to help us to shift, to help elevate consciousness, to help get humanity to a new level. Now, that's all taking place. What we're going to say is for our highest good and the highest good of all. At the same time, and I've talked about it many times before, the powers that be, and Bonnie, I see Bonnie Binsky in the chat. She is one of several School of Mystics members who joined me at the race. How does it get any better than this? Lots of love, Bonnie. The powers that be do not want this change or this transition to take place. And so, quite literally, the month of May in the Northern Hemisphere, which is where, I don't know about the parties at, but this is where there's some massive action going on the planet right now. The month of May is where things are heating up. And they're heating up quite literally, and they're heating up politically. Here's where it gets interesting, and here's where we have to pay particular attention. Right now, things are heating up with stories. If you watch the news, if you read social media, if you almost poke your head online in any way, shape, or form, you see stories. You see stories about a puppy, or you see stories about a country, or you see stories about refugees, or you see stories, and you're like, oh my God. Key point. Yes, there's some reality to these stories, but the stories are here to distract you. Very key point. The stories are here to distract you and allow the tension to build even further by helping us take our eye off the ball, eye off the prize. And we'll talk more about what that means in a minute. So if we back up for a moment, and we'll dive more into these stories. 2024 is a year where division is declared. If we look globally at humanity, 2024 is a year where division is declared to try and keep humanity from rising up, to keep humanity from evolving. This is so important to understand. 2024, by design, by the powers that be, by the oligarchs, by the old guard, by those who have the money, the power players, former power players, because we're the power players now. Is it a revolution? Not an external one. Might be an internal one as we do the work on the inside. How does it get any better than this? That's why I have things like the School of Mystics. That's why so many other great teachers are helping you do the work on the inside as well. So right now, the side stories are heating up to distract you. And the side stories, meaning the big story, the main story, isn't about an election. The main story isn't about saving the planet. The main story of 2024 is our evolution, is our shift in consciousness. That's the main story. But our eye is coming off of the prize. So I was teaching Hana Bear how to drive. Can you believe that? I can't believe I'm saying that. I was teaching Hana Bear how to drive over the last day or two. Um, and we got to do this race car loop in Disney a few times today. First time she did it, she did great. She kept her eye on the prize. The second time, she was exhausted, and her mind would wander, and the car would wander too. That's what's attempted to go on right now. The powers that be are trying to get our eyes to come off of the prize, because what's the prize? If we realize we're energetic beings having an energetic experience disguised in human form, we're unstoppable, we're untouchable, and we can create the world that we desire through our very thoughts, through the very energy that we run inside of us. Another thing that I teach, we run energy. The energy that we run is what creates our future. If they can take our eye off that prize and instead have us focus on the, oh my God, and you're doing this to me, and you're doing that, and you're the bad person, and why over there? Well, guess what? You're no longer in the creative seat. You're in the back seat where they're creating nightmares. True nightmares where it could be heaven on earth. And it's interesting, because I have on Dr. Michael Lennox tomorrow, where we're going to be literally talking about the power of nightmares and how they're here to serve us. That's not the kind of nightmare we're talking about. When our eye is off of the prize, our creative energy is stolen from us. Our creative energy is stolen from us. What do you mean, Michael? All right. If you take a story about XYZ, whatever that may be, because I'm not into sides. I don't do sides. There are no sides on the globe. So I don't play that game. And I'm sure you're not playing it anymore either. But if we were to take our eye off of the prize and we said, oh my God, look at what she is doing. Look at what he is doing. And then you get emotionally involved and you root for this to happen. You root for that to happen. You root for justice over here, which in many ways often means vengeance. You root for this person to be taken down. You root for what you root for, and what you focus on is what you create. But guess what? That may not be at all what you want to create. And so instead, we get to be very pure. We've talked about this before, and we've been teaching this in the School of Mystics. Very pure, very pono about where we bring our energy, because that's where we create. So all these side stories here are designed to keep us, to knock us out of our creative space. That's what May is. May is the month where our powers are stripped away, so that the powers that be can steamroll over us for the rest of the year. We're 6 months from the elections in the US. It does in some sense matter for the planet, but not the outcome as much as where people put their focus. That's what matters most. So it's a year where the powers that be try to create division to keep humanity from rising up. And so the stories that you read will be about division. They will be about these bad people, this bad thing. And you will see stories in the news that get you, well, let's call it like it is, pissed off like a mofo. Deliberately, by design. They will push your buttons. I promise you. Now, I can't see the chat the way things are set up here. And unfortunately, Bobbitt can't get in, but I'm wondering if there's a way I can see the chat, because I want to be able to see what people are saying here, at least a little bit. I did find my old glasses as we've been packing things up, so I can actually read the screen a little bit now. All right. The news is coming about to bring about division. What we're being shown and what is bringing up this energy inside of us, the me against you energy, the he's right, she's wrong, that kind of energy, that's all brought up to hijack our energy to create something, to create what I'm going to call the nightmare here on Earth. However, if you knock on a neighbor's door, if you were to say, oh, now my Producer's in, but I have to scroll here. If you were to knock on a neighbor's door, if you were to say hi to someone in a coffee shop, what would you find? What you would find is, and I'm going to close Zoom because I don't know how the signal is coming through here. There we go. End meeting for all. There we go. You're being shown all of this stuff that says that the world is going to hell in a handbasket, that everything is wrong, that it's me against you, that it's us against them. I dare not go into New York City because of what's going on there. Who knows what, where? I get it. If you knocked on your neighbor's door and asked to borrow a screwdriver, a knife, some butter, some honey, you would be treated more often than not right now with so much love. Because the love is actually going through the roof at this time. Sure, the fear is going through the roof. That's why the School of Mystics this month is about knocking down your fear to get you back in that creative place. I get it. The fear is going through the roof, but it is actually balanced by the love that is taking place at this time. Somebody was mentioning EMPs in the chat. We can actually do the reverse of that by pumping love into the system. Things like radiation can be completely and totally countered. We go, well, we don't have the technology to counter energy. Put on your noise canceling headphones, which puts out the exact opposite frequency to the noise that you're taking in. Of course, we can cancel out any of this stuff if we keep our eye here rather than our eye on what they're weaponizing. If we keep our eye on the neighbor and the love that is there, or say hi to someone in a coffee shop, or to the barista, or somebody struggling, or, okay, we were at Disney today. We went up to the woman who was selling balloons, because we get Hana Bear balloon once a year, and we're very careful where it goes so that it doesn't make its way into an ocean. The woman who was giving or selling balloons was almost beside herself. Because whether a child left with a balloon or did not, more often than not, the kids that passed her ended up crying. They fell apart. And I went up to her and I said, it must actually be really hard. You would think that selling balloons, that so many kids would be happy, and instead they fall apart and cry after they leave you. And she's like, yeah, I know. And she was just fried. And so we spent a few minutes with her, loving her up, helping her to feel better. That's what this time period is about. It's about greater compassion, greater empathy, greater connection. And it is easier to reach people as well. So while we're taught that this is a big, bad, whatever time, actually people are more inclined to come together, more inclined to go to love. And this is supremely important to understand. The old powers, they ain't happy. And I don't care if you're a red, if you're a blue, if you're a polka dot, sure, a polka dot, or whatever. All that stuff. And it is on one level important, but on another level, it's to rip us apart. And no matter what side of the field people are on at the highest level, it is to hold on to power. But there's no power in a false deck of cards. The real power is here. So the old power is going to do whatever it can to bring people about. That's whether they are power players. That is whether they are newspapers. It is whatever will do what it can. And there are even so many great podcasters out there who are feeding off of this. I'm not picking on anybody. I wouldn't even know who to pick on. Because it's easy to get the numbers if you go there. Easy to get your numbers if you go to the tribal aspect of pulling each brother apart. And I'm can hear the light taps on the table. All right, I will stop doing that. And so you see it in the news, you see it in the calamities, you see it in social media. Every attempt at pulling people apart, but nothing could be further from the truth. 4, if you're a light warrior, let me let you in on a secret. You are a light warrior. The fact that you're drawn to my energy, the fact that you're here tonight, ta-da! It means you are a light warrior. And the fact that you're here and that you're a light warrior means that you can transmute energy. Or you can turn that freaky tiki energy into something else, into the energy of love. That's the big picture message of May. Is there gloom and doom coming? Sure. Is it long lasting? Doesn't have to be. Is it going to scare the pants off of us? That's their job. Does it have to be? No, not at all. May is a month of turning around the energy and turning it into love, and it is an incubator month. What's that mean? We've got out the RV here. We're planning on going to Canada, then on to the Rockies, and we had some challenges in our first test drive with it last week, to say the least. And so we're actually unexpectedly back out. This was not part of the plans. And we're testing everything out to see what works, to see what doesn't. We have to change, what we have to fix, what we get to take care of. And the list goes on and on and on. As we test out things before our official run. That's what May is. We test out the energies. Now, we test out the energies of transmutation, and the powers that be test out the energies of how much they can mess with our ability to create, ability to remain centered. So what they'll do is they'll give you a story, and then a more horrific story, and then a more horrific story, and they'll start turning up the screws as they do a trial run to how much can we get people to buckle to our energy. And how quickly can we do so? Because they want everybody, in a sense, under mass control or mass hysteria by the time we get to November. So they turn up the screws as quickly as they can without causing us to pop. What does that mean? If the trials are too difficult, if things are too calamitous, if things are too horrific, let's be honest. If someone created a new 911, heaven forbid right now, we would not pop and go the direction of fighting each other, but instead we will do what happened in New York City after 911, where everybody came together. Then, of course, the politicians said, let's go after these people, even though they had nothing to do with this event. Story for another day. But people popped and came together. The powers that be don't want us to pop and come together. So they're gently turning up the water to boil to see what we can handle. Now, at these times, if we were to pop, we would remember we're spiritual beings having a spiritual experience in human form. They don't want that, so they're doing it gradually. So things in May are going up a little bit, then up a little bit more, and then up a little bit more and more powerful as we get through May, and particularly as we get into the summer and into the fall, to see what we can handle. And at the same time, if we don't play the game, they can't keep turning up the wick. If we don't feed into the nonsense, if we don't follow the stories about the gobbledygook, which means that we create it, more of it with our minds, but if instead we say, I ain't going there, they don't have the fuel to continue the experiment. Realize this is not an experiment on physicality, even though I keep tapping this physical table. Forgive me, everybody. This is not a game of physicality. This is a game of energy, which means we are the power plays as much or more than them because we're coming together as one. It's all about energy. So they want to rip us apart by tearing out our energy, by having our focus taken away, and by having our focus be on the exact things that we don't want. And I keep seeing this giant balloon coming in as they're talking about focus. We get to play with our energy in terms of looking for greater togetherness, greater assistance, greater brotherhood, greater sisterhood, mankind, womankind, whatever you want to call it. Such interesting terms if you think about it. If we choose to see us all as one. Now, the energies will keep going up through this month. They ain't going down no matter where we place our focus. Why? It's all part of the methodology of control as the old guard tries to pull us back in. And it's going to grow and grow and grow during this time. So, May is a month where it'd be easy to hear this stuff and get sucked into the news. It'd be easy to get sucked into their method of control. I want you to take note. when you see a news story, no matter how interesting it is, like my dad calling me up and telling me about a news story. I love you, Dad, a couple days ago, and then telling me about another story. Understand, ask yourself, what can I gain from paying attention to this news story? What can I learn that will help me and help me to shine my light bright and help me to bring everyone together? If there's something there, go, read it, follow it, learn about it, do something from it. If there's some positive outcome that can come from this, and I'll probably get to wind things down a little bit sooner because this is starting to hurt quite a bit. If, on the other hand, you find that no good can come out of reading this, that the story is not here to enlighten, the story is not here to bring you up, the story is just simply meant to divide, step back from it and bring it back to oneness with everything you've got. Ooh, and as I say that, what's wild is I can hear fireworks, the Disney fireworks in the distance. How does it get any better than this? This is important. Bring it back to what matters most. In fact, we were watching the fireworks with Hana Bear last night. She's gotten the 2-year-old birthday of all birthdays. And she was much more interested. Oh yeah, she was much more interested in the swing set than watching things blow up. Even though they're pretty. She was going swing, swing. This is a month where you keep bringing it back to how do we bring people together and how do we act upon that. At the coffee shop, in line. I was in line for a golf cart yesterday that you drive around these campgrounds. Turns out I was in the wrong line. And so I had to go wait on another line and then come back to this line. But I made new friends in the process. Nothing wrong with that. Make new friends. Use it as an opportunity to be the light warrior that you're always meant to be. This is the month of the light warrior. This is the month where we test things out and test out the new skin of getting you into your superpowers. Again, why we have the School of Mystics right now is to get you into your superpowers. This is where we play with this. It's a month of stepping into your power, of getting outside of the cocoon and being ignited and being on fire. Now, the powers that be would say this is a month of getting you to stand up for what you believe in. I want you to be careful about this. When they say stand up for what you believe in, often it means what they believe in and getting yourself to do the divide and conquer game. That's not the highest level game. There's nothing wrong. There's everything right for going after something that you're passionate about. There's everything right about it. And at the same time, I would say there's nothing, can I use the word right? Because I say if everything is God, then nothing is not God. So even the fight against something is still God. And at the same time, I would say fighting is not the answer. We do not fight against anything to bring each other up. So be on fire. Stand up for what you believe in, but do not do it out of fight. Do it out of brotherhood. Do it out of bringing everybody together. That's what we get to do. Stand up for everyone, everywhere. That's what's most important at this time, particularly in the month of May, to stand up for everyone, everywhere, no matter their beliefs, no matter their opinions. And yes, I've been thinking, and as I look at my notes, I was going back and forth with Archangel Michael about this morning, which is the concept of red versus blue, us versus them, one country versus another. It's a concept that's really been bothering me lately, or maybe that's not the right term. Fascinated. I have been fascinated by this concept of red versus blue lately. Why? Well, because if I'm a red and you're a blue, or take a deep breath, I'm a blue and you're a red, what does that mean? At the end of the day, it could mean that I'm very open-minded, or it could mean that everybody with my color, that's interesting, is a good person, and everything who doesn't have my color is an idiot, or a bad person, or completely misguided, or something must be wrong with them, or they're idiots. Think about that. The natural conclusion of this is, if you are, this almost sounds like Crips and Bloods, if you are not from my tribe, then I hate you. There's something wrong with you. That means really that 50% of the world I must hate. 50% of the world something's wrong with. 50% of the world are idiots. Think about that for a moment. Would you go into, I don't know, a store? Would you go into a party? Would you go into a gathering? Would you go into a sing-along and look around and say, well, 50% of these people are complete and total idiots and I hate them? I mean, you're taught to hate the other side right now, to hate them. Does that make any sense? This derision and division that says I must hate another person or every other person is wrong. Well, except these people, they can't possibly be. Imagine if everybody wore a shirt that said I'm a red, I'm a blue. I guess it'd be easy, colors. Would you really hate half of the people in the room? Would you hate half of the people on the highway? Would you hate half? Well, they're not the same people. No. It's madness. It's insane. Does it ever 50% of the people out there, are they really bad people? No. This is all artificial. This is all made up to keep you out of power. So if we can recognize this month, that we are being set up. We are being set up by a system of divide and conquer. A system that is, let's be honest, if not dead, is dying. This system, even this beautiful country, and you can challenge it and you can say it's not a very beautiful country. All countries have their beauty. All countries were built, pretty much, not all, most, before the internet. Almost all countries were certainly built before any of the technology that we have. What does this mean? Antiquated systems with antiquated political structures that people are trying to hold on to while the whole world is changing like that. And so how do you hold on? It's them. That's the old school way, going back to time immemorial. They did this to me. No, they didn't. We didn't even do this to us. We've just given away our power. And if we draw back inside, if we put our attention on what we wish to create, ooh, goody, now we're back to being a light warrior in the month of May, we will begin to create that. How does it get any better than this? I find it so fascinating that the fireworks are going off in the distance, and I can hear the song, The Rocket's Red Glare, because at the end of the day, and this is not picking on anybody who served for our country, but at the end of the day, war cries are what got us here. Love embraces are what's going to take us to the next level. Love embraces are what's going to take us to the next level. So, what matters most is not how you cast your ballot, and I'm not saying don't vote, but how you cast your ballot. It's putting down the guns and turning them into plowshares and inviting the neighbor to hop over the fence and come join you. It's how you cast the ballot with your heart. That's what Archangel Michael is talking all about at this time. Yeah, but if I vote for this person, if I vote for that person, the planet's going to be destroyed. Democracy is going to be destroyed. The planet, the Earth, the country, the galaxy is going to be destroyed. And guess what? Archangel Michael promises, you're right. It's all coming to an end. Because that's what we should have titled this. Archangel Michael says, it's all coming to an end. It is. This old way of being, this old, heavy, three-dimensional consciousness, this old, heavy you versus me, you're wrong, I'm right, I'm better, you're weak, or something. It ain't working anymore. That's why I look at things like free energy and I go, okay, we haven't officially seen it yet. But you know how many people have a powerful supercomputer in their hands that's more powerful than any computer that even existed 20 years ago? Every single cell phone is more powerful than just about the powerful, Cray supercomputer that existed in the mid-90s. Free energy will be here before we know it. I mean, it already exists, but it will be here before we know it because there's so much computational power out there right now. The change is inevitable. Old systems are coming to an end. That's what Archangel Michael has declared. But it's not the end that we fear it will be. See, the energy is too much. The intelligence is too much. The changes are too much. The AI is too much. The connectivity is too much. So no matter which party wins, everything is still going to be in a massive upheaval. completely unstoppable. Completely and totally unstoppable. No matter what party wins, things will go wonky to fall apart to make room for something new. No, this doesn't mean that everybody's going to be going to their guns and going to their bunkers. Nothing could be further from the truth. But it means that the old systems are falling apart. They're broken. They don't stand a chance anymore, and they cannot stand the test of time. So even if a party has a plan, and we've seen different plans, here's what's going to take place if I am reelected. Here's what I'm going to do if I'm reelected. None of those plans have a chance of coming true. None of them do, because no party knows what's coming out of this, because no party in the history of his story, because history is from the victors, nobody knows what's going to happen with humanity, except maybe an Archangel Michael, because we have never been here before energetically. Which means, again, it's so important where we place our focus, where we place our energy. And I'll leave you on this, and then I'll answer just a few questions, and then probably wrap this up for a very, very, very short meditation, because my face feels like it is swelling right now on me. It is your energy that will change everything. It is the internal energy, more than any vote, more than any protest, that is going to shift this place. It is your focus, like Hana Bear with the car, that is going to determine and dictate how we come out of this and whether we're going to have it. We're going to be fine, but whether we're going to have it the easy way or the hard way. Hint, let's have things the easy way. But that's all dictated by where we place our focus, which means you are a light warrior. You can change this planet. Of course, come join me for the School of Mystics. I'll let people tell you about it there. If you recognize, though, the power that you have inside of you, the power that you have to shift your life, to shift the lives of others, to shift the entire planet. Michael, I don't have that planet. I'm just struggling to get by. It's where you place your focus. It's where you place your focus. I see so many beautiful souls here. Stardust is going, so just we ignore any of it? No, there's a difference between ignoring something and keeping our focus on it. Huge difference. You can see what's going on. You can see if a dam has just burst, you don't go, there's no dam that burst. You go, what can I do to help the situation? What can I do to help my neighbors? What can I do to help those in need? What can I do to drive my car around the situation because I don't want to go into those flooded waters? We do not ignore that the dam has burst, but we play the game from a higher level rather than going on the attack and going, who caused this dam to burst? Going to a place of outrage. I'm outraged that this dam has burst. Going to a place of victimhood. I can't believe they did this to us and they didn't take care of it. And now this flood has taken place and poor me, woe is me. Or the elected officials who caused this dam to burst, we need to hang them high. Or the inspectors, no. Instead, we come from a higher level, loving place. And we stay in that focus of, okay, the dam burst. What can we do to help people? What can we do to make things even better in the future? That's what puts you back in the role of the light warrior. That's what puts you back in the role of the creator, and that was what you are. You are not all of the creator, but you've been sold a bill of goods that says you are weak, that says that you're less than, that says you are not God. I just said that. You are God. You are God on earth. You are not the only God. Michael, are you saying that everybody is God? Everybody is a part of the divine. Everybody. Everything is a part of the divine. Everything. There is nothing that is not. If God, whatever that means, created the earth in 7 days, God created everything. And there is nothing that is not God. You are not the totality of it, but you are so much more powerful than you ever imagined yourself to be. And this is the month where we begin rediscovering this. This is the month where we go back to a state of togetherness. This is the month where we go back to a state of oneness. Now, when I was talking with Archangel Michael about this, I said, haven't we heard this before? Isn't the same old story? And he was very clear. He said, this is a month where your energy and your love is amplified and where you can act as the most powerful buffer. What does that mean? You can act as the most powerful buffer. It means that things are going to spiral out of control over the next 6 months if we don't do our work now. The more that we go to this internal space, this kumbaya space, I'll make fun of it, this loving space right now, the less things spiral out of control for the rest of the year. Sam Satan saying, I don't have time for the end of the garbage going on. Exactly, Sam. Let's create something even better. None of us have time for the garbage. None of us need to take time for the garbage. Let somebody else take out that garbage. Let's focus on the beauty instead. Let's focus on the goodness. Let's pump this place up with so much love and light that the garbage doesn't stand a chance. Because right now in May, they're playing with how much can we steal their hearts? How much can we take their eye off of the prize? It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be where they take your eye off of another, off of anything. Put your heart on another. Put your heart on yourself. Put your heart on everyone. And we'll get back to Hana Bear in just a minute. But it's the love that you bring for each other, the love that you bring for the world, and the love and light that you bring to everyone and everything. That's what's most important at this time. The light that you bring to everyone and everything. You saw Hana Bear get on the camera. What was she doing? She's 2 years old today. She knows what she's doing. She was pumping you up with love and light. Did you feel better? I mean, I'm sitting back here going, oh, I promised everybody we're going to talk about a channel talk from Archangel Michael. So I squirm a little bit. She knows what she's doing. It ain't by accident. She's loving you up, sending you energy. You can feel it. Your energy goes up through the roof. And she is giving a powerful teaching on, hey, if I'm 2 years old and I can change everybody's energy just by being me, just think of what all of you adults, if you came together and you did this, what you could possibly do. So instead of this May being a month of derision and division, I can still hear the fireworks going off. What if instead, boom, there we go, we can call this a month of love, a month of love and light, a month of caring and compassion. So as we wrap this up, if someone doesn't believe in your beliefs, if someone doesn't share your color, if someone doesn't share your party, if someone doesn't share your anything, love them up. Hana Bear, 2 years old, and yeah, oh, now there's what do you call it, the grand finale. Hana Bear, 2 years old. If somebody said, well, I don't agree with what your parents agree with, she's going to look at them and she'll be like, ah, this is a non-issue. It's a non-issue to her. She's still going to love you up. These are non-issues. Are you a human being? Are you an energetic being? Do you have a pulse? Do you have energy? Do you have a heart? I love you. That's what we get to play with. So if somebody has a bumper sticker on that you don't agree with, if somebody's got out the flags on their vehicle and you don't agree with that, or vice versa, love them up. If somebody cuts in front of you and makes you furious, love them up as well. Understand we're all going through this. And the more that you can be a light warrior, the more you can be a warrior of love, the more that you can be an ambassador of love, the more that you can be the saint of love that you are always meant to be, and you are a saint. The more that you can do this, the more you will shift this planet beyond anything. The oligarchs, the power structures, the whatevers. Let them have their time. Let them have their game. They could be the side story. We get to be the main story from a place of love or something even better. So as the energy heats up this month and as things do go boom, and yeah, some of them are gonna go boom, bring it back to love. And where they try to toe us up, so there goes the ow. Where they try to tear us apart, get out your needle and thread and sew it all together with love at a highest level, a thread of love, a beam of love, a tapestry of love. That's what you are. That's what I am. And that to me, I will say it kind of quietly in the farce now, is a mighty woohoo. Is a mighty woohoo. All right. Let's go to questions here real briefly. And I see that FM Oglesby has joined their Backstage Pass. It's where I try to give pithy things on YouTube at our Backstage Pass. That's the join button down below. More often than not, it's taking you on the journey with us, taking you into our hearts, into our families, into our lives. So come join us for the Backstage Pass, and you're going to get some pithy stuff out of it as well. But we've been just trying to post the reality of our journey as we go through this great discovery together. Oh, gosh, brilliant question. Brenda Platt, do angels have free will to choose? Of course they do. Now, they're looking at the world from a much higher level perspective. And so while they love everybody up, and they will help anybody if you ask. Angels are on the unemployment line unless you ask for help. They have a bigger picture agenda as well. So their agenda is to help you to grow and to evolve, and they're right there with your higher self on the other side of the veil. And their agenda is to help all of humanity grow and evolve as well. So they operate from a little bit different of a rule set than we do because they're playing with more of the big picture. But they can make individual choices. They are certainly not automatons. Uh, it's much more of an intuitive decision-making process of what I'm hearing from energy. It is not a thinking headspace game. So they have the free will, but they know deep within, you can say their hearts, their energetic space, they know what is the right decision to make, not right versus wrong, but right as in what is the higher energetic outcome, or they would say they know what love would do, and they will always operate from that place of love. Information gather. I want to release things I feel have been blocked. Let me read that one more time, and my lip is really starting to swell. So I'm going to see about how much we'll go into here. I'll take just a few questions. I want to release things I have, but I feel blocked, as at least I have items but have negative correlation. A material from a negative employer never paid me years ago, holding to get paid. Holding to try to get paid. I want to release things I have but feel blocked. I would do healing work on your heart, information gatherer. I think that's the first place. Now, you can go to Dr. Bradley Nelson's emotion code. You can go to EFT tapping. You can certainly come to the School of Mystics, where we do a biased, a brilliant clearing once a month. But I need you to work on the heart. And if you work on the heart, it'll become much clearer, information gatherer, what the next step is that you get to take. Christine, I was briefly talking about EMP, so we're going to move on a little bit more past that. Feel free to bring that up again another week. But as far as protecting ourselves from that technology, I am much more into focusing on where do we wish to create a higher level outcome. Because if we focus on any one particular weapon, and I'm not saying that they're not there, I'm not saying that they're not doing things, but if we focus on that, we give them more power to actually use those things. And I want to take the power away from them. Stardust, we got there too. CB, how do we balance our energies? CB, we feel into them. We allow into them. We do not withhold at this time. We do not push away. We do not go to toxic positivity. But we actually lean into the energies. So if you feel your mouth is swelling, which is why I'm going to take 2 more questions based on this. If you feel your mouth is swelling, you don't go, oh, my mouth is not swelling. I'll just keep pushing through and pushing through. That does not balance energy. You go, okay, that's hurting. What does it tell me? What does it teach me? What can I learn from it? How can I grow from this experience? How do I make it a friend? How do I befriend it? And then where do I go from here? So CB, certainly we can open chakras. This is very helpful. We can do all sorts of meditation work. This is huge. We can go as far as, if you're ready, things like Kundalini awakening. All of this stuff is very powerful and can help. But balance is more to me of an inside job of feeling everything exquisitely and leaving nothing out. That helps to move through energy to me more than just about anything else. Dana Freelack. Hi, Michael. Detached from the situation. It's interesting that I am wearing a Team USA shirt, which could actually be very derisive and divisive. And it was an unplanned thing of this whole journey tonight of Jessica. She's in charge. Let's be honest about it. And she challenges me. And so an hour before I went on air, she said, you got to do it outside. You know it's going to be a better show. You need to start practicing with this. And I'm like, yep, you're right. And so the shower went out the window, everything went out the window, and here I am getting ready to go on air. But I'd like this to be Team Earth, Team World. Let's bring everyone together, co-opetition rather than competition. Hi, Michael. Detach from the situation thrown at us. Can that help keep your vibes high? Vibes high absolutely helps. Feel everything hugely helps. Detach from the situation thrown at us, completely and totally. So you can see the garbage, as it's called, but you don't have to dwell in the garbage. You don't have to swill in the garbage, or however we would call that. You recognize it if you choose to go down that road, but don't do a dance with the garbage. There's an expression that I like when somebody is acting out of their egoic state or their wounds and their triggers, rather than their heart or their compassionate state. I don't play tennis with them. What does that mean, you don't play tennis with them? I don't hit the ball back, because if I hit the ball back, the ball's coming back even faster and even harder and even angrier at me. I don't hit the ball back. So Dana, that's what we get to do in this situation. We don't hit the ball back. How do we hit the ball back? By feeding that energy, by feeding those stories, by feeding any of that junk. If we all suddenly didn't watch the junky news, guess what? The news channels, programs, everything would have to find stories that we would watch and listen to. And they're looking at the click-through, and they're looking at the time on the page, and they're looking at everything for their advertisers, and they're giving us more of the junk because that's what we enjoy. We as a species, we as a something, we take in. If we start eating stop eating the junk, stop ingesting the junk, then they have to give us something healthier. Amy, so what do we do to avoid the news when it is inevitable? I'm not sure what you mean by inevitable, Amy. Meaning if the stories are going to chase you down, you can take note of the stories, but we don't have to keep going down that rabbit hole. If the highway or a bridge blows up in front of you, you get to take note of that and see what you can do to help. But then you can turn the car and go a different way. So it's really, Amy, a matter of where we're going to place our focus during this time, because you, Amy, are a creator and a huge creator. So it's where we want to put our focus. I'm trying to whip through these fast so I can get off of this. Forgive me. Who is driving this negativity, or is it fear begets fear? Elaine, without picking on an individual, because there is no one individual. Old systems of power, those in power, those who, in a sense, profit from, I don't even know what a bully pulpit is, but I'm hearing the term, those who profit from a billy puppet. Bully, I can't even say it. My mouth is so swollen. Those are the ones who profit from this situation, who are driving the negativity and driving the fear. So we simply don't feed into that. Last question. Oh, I'm going to go both of them. From Ari, isn't the purpose of the human experience to experience the duality in blue and red? No. It's not. Well, it is to be in physical form, yes. But it is to recognize the creator within oneself. And the greatest way to recognize the creator within yourself is to have that power stripped away temporarily until you grab it back. In other words, how does it go? Absence makes the heart grow fonder. If the very divinity is taken away from us, if we don't recognize that divinity for a while, then when we find it, we grow even stronger to it. We yearn even more to it. So here in the state of collective amnesia, at this lower level growth of humanity, and we're evolving beyond it, this duality has been to serve us if we don't get stuck in the story. The purpose, Ari, is not to get stuck in the story of the duality, but to rise above it. That is not saying, I'm just going to be enlightened and float up here and not take notice of the physicality. One of the cool things, can I say that? Okay, I will. One of the cool things about me as a teacher, and there's some amazing teachers out there. There's some incredible teachers. I play with the physicality. I don't just play up in the pie in the sky world. I say, okay, I'm here on earth and I'm in human form. What can I do with this meat suit? What can I do to play with it? Artists do the same thing. Singers do the same thing. You do the same thing. What can I do to play with this experience? So I'm not saying that we check out of the experience and just go to, I'm just enlightened. But what I am saying is that we recognize the duality is not real. We recognize who and what we are, and then we recognize that we can play at an even higher, much greater level. Last question. Megan, if Michael is okay to answer, yes. How to focus on long-term goals given the uncertainty? You go for them anyway. And I fully admit that some of that is where are we fully landing our ship after this year? And the answer used to be that we were saying we didn't know based on the current uncertainty. And now we're saying, oh, that's just all for us and our personal life silliness. What just makes our heart feel best? So, Megan, we get to go for the pulls on our heart during this time, even or especially in this time of uncertainty. All right. So that is all of our questions tonight. Sherry jumped in. Does it mean we were supposed to meditate more now? Um, whatever works for you, Sherry. It could be meditation. It could be hugging a tree. It could be loving up your 2-year-old. It could be loving up a puppy. It can be doing healing work on your Sir Meowsers. It can be whatever works for you. But playing even more in the state of love, in the state of oneness, in the state of togetherness. All right. I'm going to take a sip of water, and I'm going to attempt to do about a 2-minute meditation. Forgive me. I feel I am a little bit tapped out based on my I'm actually scared to have a little bit of water. So we might just do a little simple breathing together and call it good. And then I will see everybody who's there in our School of Mystics on Wednesday, where we're going to blow this out to a whole new level. And we are going to shed a lot of this fear that people are trying to gift us with during this time, because it ain't ours and we don't need to own it, but we can Tai Chi it. We can transmute it. I haven't been scared of drinking water before. I needed to do this tonight, though. I'm so glad you're here. And I just wanted to share with you just how much of a light warrior you are, how special you are, how incredible you are. And Mary and Jill, if you're watching this, I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. For everyone, I love you. I love you. I love you. All right, we're going to just do the simplest, probably about 1-minute meditation here, and we are going to call it good. And we will get into obviously a longer meditation, the School of Mystics, a longer meditation next week. I just get to call it good. All right, so what we're going to do is close our eyes, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. As we keep breathing in and out together, I want to imagine that everybody who's watching this, past, future, and present, is all here together right now. All holding hands, all together as one. So we breathe in together as one, and out as one. In as one, and out as one. Now, I want you to imagine that you're here with me. We're in a campground. It's nice and dark. You can see the stars up above. I've shut off my lights, and so you can just hear kind of the forest, the crickets, and you feel kind of this warm glow come about you. It's almost as if there's a campfire, even though there isn't one, but you feel this warm glow inside of your hearts. What is this warm glow? This is our natural state of oneness. This is our natural state of togetherness. As you breathe in all together, you feel this glow on your heart, and you breathe out, you feel it even more. You breathe in, you feel this warmth inside of your chest. It's expanding outwards, and you breathe out. You feel it even more. You breathe in again, and you can feel this warmth, this peace, this ease, this love go through every cell of your beingness, and you breathe out, and you find you have so much despair, you start sending it out into the forest. You breathe in, you feel this warmth in your heart. It fills your whole body, it exudes through every pore, and you start sending it out to everyone, everywhere. You breathe in, you recognize this warmth now is love. You breathe in all of this love, and you breathe out, and you start sending love to everyone everywhere. You breathe in love, you think of a story in the news that you can't believe, and now you send out love specifically to anybody involved in that story, no matter what side there are. You breathe in even more love. You think of this party, you think of this country, you think of this something that you're taught to be against, and you breathe out love, and you send them all that love coming from your heart as much as you possibly can. And you breathe in even more love, and you think of everybody who stands for everything that you are against. You breathe it in, you breathe it in, and you send out so much love to them with everything you have got. Oh, and it feels so good that you just breathe in love and send out love, and breathe in love and send out love. And one more time, breathe in love and send out love. And now, before we end, I want you to remember, recognize, and take note of one thing. That love that you're breathing in started from inside of you. That love that you're sending out to the whole world that could literally change the planet, the galaxy, the universe, and beyond, it started from inside of you. The change that you wish to see in the world, the change that you wish to happen, the change that you wish to have that was here yesterday, it started from inside of you. Breathe in love, send out love. Breathe in love, send out love. Breathe in love and send out love. And how does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? All right. I get to figure out here. I'm not sure if my producer is still online. I get to figure out how to end this. Thank you to everybody on the Dream Team, to Marge, to everyone, to Aya, to Anne, to Super Bobs. Thank you, Aya Bear, Ann Bear, Hana Bear, Miracle. Thank you, everybody. Oh, what was this? Oh, it's a firefly that literally just came and landed next to me. Oop, it's back again, and now it's buzzing off. I send so much love your way, and I wish you so much of an amazing, amazing evening and week ahead. And then see you Wednesday if you come join us at the School of Mystics. All right. Let's see. I have instructions on how to end the live stream. Because I don't know if my producer is still here. That'd be Super Bob's. So to end the live stream, oh, he's going to do it for me. Lots of love, everybody. Woohoo! Be well.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no